let me share the screen. Okay, I hope the screen is visible. Anyone can acknowledge the screen is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, a brief recap of what we did in the previous class. We learned about what is a Virgin space, how it is represented, then a very basic algorithm, the list then eliminate algorithm, how it operates, and we saw how we represent the Virgin space in a more compact way, in a better way, right? So, before discussing the Virgin space, we learned about how uh, the candidate elimination algorithm makes use of this Virgin space, and how is this candidate elimination algorithm is different from finders. So though we have not covered what is candidate elimination algorithm, the only difference of how a candidate elimination algorithm and a finders algorithm is different is what we have seen in the previous lecture. So we discussed that the candidate elimination algorithm outputs set of hypotheses uh, which is different from the finders algorithm. Finders algorithm gives us only one hypothesis as the output, right? And the candidate elimination algorithm also makes use of the more general than a relationship, that is the partial ordering, right? And though it is not suitable for most of the training examples, but what we see is it gives us a fundamental issue. It gives us the overview or the framework, the conceptual framework for the fundamental issues which are addressed in the machine learning. So when it comes to noisy data, the candidate elimination algorithm as well as the finders algorithm tends to perform little poor, but though they address the fundamental issues in the machine learning, we tend to use this algorithm. Before discussing the version space, we defined what is consistency, what is when a hypothesis can be called as a consistent to the training example D, and also when a hypothesis can be called as like when the particular hypothesis is satisfying the training example set, which is denoted by capital D again, right? So the candidate elimination algorithm, this is the definition here. Yeah, this is the definition here, what we saw the candidate elimination algorithm, that it represents the set of all hypotheses consistent with the observing training example. Now, these set, what we get in the candidate elimination algorithm is nothing but the Virgin space. I would request everybody to keep their mic muted and maintain their discipline. Okay, pardon me for that. Yeah. So the set of hypotheses what we get from the candidate elimination algorithm is the uh, actual virgin space, what we define, right? So this is the subset of all the hypotheses. Now, to get in more depth, the virgin space, we define the virgin space as the, it is denoted as VSHD, whereas the virgin space for the respective hypothesis H for the training examples, capital D. Virgin space is the subset of the hypothesis, right? It is a subset of the hypothesis from the H consistent with the training example D, and which can be defined with this expression, right? VSHD is equivalent to H belonging to capital H, such that the H is consistent with the training example D. So we understood the Virgin space in more detail with respect to this diagram. We defined there is something called most specific and most general, and then in between we have some maximally specific members by defining this boundary. We define this boundary, right? The specific boundary and the general boundary. And inside this boundary, what we have, the hypothesis, the set of hypotheses, they are our Virgin space. So we saw an example with respect to example what can be a Virgin space. So this was our Virgin space that we got, right? This is our most specific hypothesis. This is our most general hypothesis, and we have our virgin space here in between. So today we are going to implement the candidate elimination algorithm. We will see exactly how do we get this virgin space at the end, right? So here is where we defined what is a general boundary G and a specific boundary S, right? And we saw the virgin space representation, how virgin space is represented, the expression for the virgin space. So today we will start with the candidate elimination algorithm. Now, as we discussed in the previous slide, the candidate elimination algorithm represents the set of all hypotheses which are consistent with the observed training example D. Observed training example is D, right? And set of all hypotheses, the set of all hypotheses is capital H, right? So the candidate elimination algorithm will give us some set of hypotheses in the form of output, which will be our virgin space. Now, in order to start with this, the candidate elimination algorithm is first initialized with the most general hypothesis and as well as the most specific hypothesis, right? We will initialize the two boundary sets, you can say, or two extreme conditions, which is the most general hypothesis, wherein we have all the question marks, which denotes any value is accepted. And then we have a most specific hypothesis, wherein we assign all the attribute value as 5. 5 means that no value is accepted, right? So, which is most specific. So, what we have to do is we have to travels in such a way that we from the most general to most specific, we travel both the side inwards so that we have in between the set of hypotheses which are consistent with the training example, and these set in between set can be will be our virgin space, right? So we will first define the two boundary sets. Now these two boundary sets, that is G naught and S naught, they are our delimiters, you can say, right? They set our delimits for the entire hypothesis space that we have, the all set of hypotheses that we have. So let us quickly understand what is this candidate elimination algorithm. So as you can see here, first we initialize the G to set of maximally general hypothesis. Then we initialize S to the set of maximally specific hypothesis, like we saw in the previous slide, this one. Then, once we set these two delimiters, what we are going to do is for each training example, which is D, right? For each training example, a D, which is element of capital D. Capital D is our set of all the training example. So if you can recall the table, the enjoy sport problem, let's just take the same example, enjoy sport problem. So when we recall the table, we had four training examples. So those four training examples denote capital D, and then each training example among those set of examples, we have small d. Small d is a each individual training example. So what we are going to do is for each training example d, if the d is positive, right? If the D is positive, we are going to perform few set of instructions, and when if the D is negative, we will perform few other set of instructions. So what are these set of instructions, right? So when we have the example as positive, okay, so let me show you the table so that you can relate it completely. So this was the table, if you can recall. We have few positive set of training examples, right? And we have few negative set of training examples. We have only one negative training example in this case. So what we are going to do when we encounter a positive training example and what are we going to do when we encounter a negative training example is what is written here in the algorithm. So let's say we have a positive training example at the first instance. When we encounter this positive training example, we have to remove a hypothesis from G which is inconsistent, right? G is our most general hypothesis. So When we encounter a positive example, we remove a hypothesis which is in G and which is inconsistent, right? And then for each hypothesis in the S which is not consistent with the D, we remove the most specific also. But at the same time, we add a specific hypothesis which is minimal general, right? Minimal general, and then ultimately we remove the hypothesis H in the hypothesis that is more general. So what we are doing is from specific to general, let's say we have most specific hypothesis H and then we have most general hypothesis G. When we encounter a positive example, we are going to remove the most general element, the most general hypothesis which is inconsistent from D, and we are going to move towards the specificity. And at the same time, when we encounter a negative training example, we are going to remove the most specific hypothesis and we are going to move downwards to more generosity. So that is what you all have to remember, that when we encounter a positive example, we move towards specific, and when we encounter a negative example, we move towards more generosity, more general, right? So, yes, exactly. When we do a, let's say we encounter a negative example. So what we are going to remove? We are going to remove a hypothesis as from S, which is inconsistent to D, inconsistent with the D, and then we are going to traverse towards the more generosity. So to understand this, let us take the same example, the example of the enjoy sport problem, this particular example. We will see how do we proceed? We encounter these training examples one by one, right? So let's say we have first training example. The first iteration, the first algorithm, I mean the first step in the algorithm says that we have to initialize G to the maximally general hypothesis and initialize S to the set of maximally specific hypothesis, right? So let us assign or initialize first the most specific hypothesis to the all the five values, all the attribute values as five, and initialize the G naught with the most general values, which is a question mark, right? So what we have here is we have now most specific hypothesis and as well as most general hypothesis. Now, when we go back in the algorithm and see the next step, that for each training example D, if the D is positive, perform few set of instructions, and if the D is negative, perform few other set of instructions, right? So let's say first training example, which is our positive example, right? This example is our positive example. Sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, same. This is the attribute values for all our six attributes: sky, air temperature, humidity, wind, water, forecast. So these are the attribute values for these six attributes. So when we currently we are at this stage when we have initialized the most specific and the most general hypothesis. When we encounter our first training example, right? When we encounter the first iteration, the first trace, you can say, we have put the training example here so that it is easier for reference. When we encounter a first training example, that is sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, safe, which is a positive training example. So when we have positive training example, we move towards generosity, right? We reduce the specificity and we move towards generosity. So S naught, which was the most specific hypothesis by having all the five values here, we now a most we have a more general, which is not actually a general, but it is minimally specific than the previous one. For example, S naught was the most specific, but after tracing the first example, first positive example, we have S1, right? So we have the values of the attribute as sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, and safe. So what we have done is we have replaced this five values, which was actually no value is accepted, which is the most specific hypothesis. It has been replaced by or replaced or updated by a less specific value, less specific hypothesis S1, which is currently having the value from the first training example. So sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, same is what we saw here in the first training example is replaced as the first specific hypothesis. Now, moving on, when we encounter the second, we are still into the for loop, right? Let me go back to the program and show you. We are still into this for loop, right? So we are iterating till the time we have positive training example. So the second example, when we encounter, it is still a positive example, right? So when we encounter the second positive example, now the attribute value of the first example is here in the third attribute value, you can see there is a change, right? There is the value normal is replaced by the value high. The strong remains strong, warm is again warm, same is again same. So there is only one difference you can spot here, right? There is only one change you can see. The normal has been replaced by high. So since it is a positive example, what we are going to do is we are again going to move towards generosity, right? So from most specific, we are going to move towards generosity by replacing this attribute value as question mark, right? Because it is a change, right? The normal has been changed to high, but though still it is a positive training example, that means both the value is accepted here. So that means we are going to replace the value of the third attribute with a question mark, which denotes any value is represented, any value is accepted there. So as you can see here, the sunny remains sunny, the warm remains warm. The normal has been changed to question mark because high value is also accepted in the positive training example. So we are replacing it with the question mark. Other attribute value strong remains strong, warm remains warm, same remains the same. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion here is we have made one more specific hypothesis which is comparatively less specific or comparatively more general than the previous hypothesis S1, right? And our original hypothesis, the initialized hypothesis, which was S0. So compared to uh, S0, S2 is most general, and compared to S1 also, S2 is more general than S1. So you can see here in these two iterations, yet encountered any negative training example. We are not compromising with the general hypothesis. We are only making the specific hypothesis to a less specific hypothesis. So we are moving in between, in the middle, right? So the value of G1 and G0 will remain same as it is what we had in the G0, which is still the most uh, general hypothesis. Now, these were when we saw the two training examples which were positive, right? We are currently here, but when we encounter the third training example, right? The third training example is a negative example, or the value of the ultimate enjoy sport function is nothing but the no. It's a negative training example. So let me go back to the program and show you. So when we get after the second training example, we get out of this for loop and we enter this if condition. That is, if negative example, when we encounter a negative training example, what we are going to do is we are going to remove some specific hypotheses which are inconsistent, and if for each hypothesis G in G that is not consistent with D, remove that G. Right. So in this case, what we are going to do is we are going to move towards we are going to remove some small g, that is individual uh, general hypothesis from G, capital G, and go on and define a more general or sorry, a less general and a more specific hypothesis. Let us take it up with an example. So now we have this example, example number three, rainy, cold, high, strong, warm, and change, which is a negative example. So when we encounter this third training example, which is a negative training example, this is the S2. The S2 is as it is what we saw in the previous iteration, right? This is our S2. Sunny, warm, question mark, strong, warm, same. So sunny, warm, question mark, strong, warm, same remains same. This is unchanged, you can say. But when we encounter a negative training example in our trace 2, we update our G2. This was our actually G0, comma G0, comma G1, comma G2. This was our most general hypothesis, right? But now, since we have encountered a negative example, we have to move towards specificity. We have to find a more specific and a less general hypothesis in between. So let us compare with these example that the first the attributes that the attribute value what we see here is rainy, cold, high, strong, warm, and change. So when we see here, when we encounter the first itself, so it is different from what we saw in the previous example. So here the value is rainy, whereas but here we had sunny, right? So the rainy will not be considered because it is a negative training example. The ultimate value it is getting reduced is to negative. So the sunny will be a new individual hypothesis which will be uh, created a new hypothesis with one value, the value of the first attribute as sunny, all other attributes as question mark. Now when we see cold, the second attribute value in the negative training example. So it is again the value is different here, but we had a warm value here. So again a new hypothesis will be generated with warm, a complete new hypothesis with only warm as specific value and all other as general value. So for each attribute value, we are generating a new hypothesis, a brand new hypothesis. So when we consider this high, right, the third training example, it is high, but here we have a question mark. That means any value is accepted. So we are not going to update a new hypothesis because the third attribute value can be any value. So high can be accepted. Though it is a negative training example, any and the S3 or the S2 hypothesis says that we have a question mark here. That means any value is accepted. So will not make a brand new hypothesis here. Now the fourth attribute value is strong, right? So for the strong, as you can see here, the value of the S2 is still strong. So there is no change. So let's not make a new hypothesis again. The fifth attribute value is warm. So here also it is warm. So no change, no new hypothesis. But the sixth attribute value here is a change and here we have same. So there is a difference. The change is in the negative training example. The same was in our positive training example S2. So this will again, we have to create a new hypothesis with value same, right? So here we created as sunny, here we created as warm, here we have to create it as a new hypothesis called same. So I hope this is clear that how we end up having three new hypotheses which are uh, less general and more specific, you can say. They are less general to G0, G1 and G2 but more specific than the S2, you can say. So now the training example, we still have one training example left. We have not exhausted our set of training examples. So ultimately we come up to the fourth training example, which is again a positive training example. Yes, right. So what do we see in the fourth training example? Let me show you to the slide. When we encounter this fourth training example, which is a positive training example, so we see sunny, warm, high, strong, cool, and change. So far so far in the before trace the what we have is we have sunny, warm, not this, yeah. So we have V3 in our previous iteration, the previous trace, and we had S3 in our previous grid, right? S2, S3, and G3. So G3 is sunny, warm, and same what we saw, what we got a new set of hypotheses, and S3 is as it is. But when we see a positive training example, we have to again move towards a more generosity. So as you can see here, the first training example is sunny. There is sunny. Then there is warm. Then there is warm. We have a high, but here we have a question mark. That means any value is accepted. Then we have a strong, which is again equal to strong, but here we have warm. Then we have warm, and the sixth attribute value is change, but here we have same, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to replace these two. That means we have positive result for two different values, two new values, right? But the ultimate result is still a positive. That means these values are also accepted because they are resulting into a positive value. So at present we had warm and same. These will be getting replaced with a question mark because any value is accepted, right? Warm, as we discussed, warm is also accepted. Same is also accepted. And according to new training example, the fourth training example, the cool and change is also accepted. So our S3 gets updated to S4 by these two question mark getting these warm and same getting replaced with two question mark, which denotes any value accepted. So from this specific hypothesis, we moved up to one more hypothesis S4, which was a less specific, or you can say a more general compared to S3, right? It was less specific compared to S3, or you can say it is it is more general than S3. Now, at the same time, you can see here that this sunny, warm, and same. We have been uh, we have updated this G3 to G4, which is sunny, warm, and the same has been removed. The reason why it is been removed is because you can see there is a conflict. There is a conflict that S4 gives us question mark, right? Because you can see here this sunny is getting resulted into sunny. This warm we have in our warm, but this same is not there in our S4. So there is a conflict, there is a change, right? So here we have a question mark. So that means that this hypothesis can be removed. This hypothesis can be removed. So let me show you the algorithm that why we are removing this. So here you can see remove G, any hypothesis that is less general, right? Which is less general than other hypothesis in G. So we are going to remove that same hypothesis, that is last hypothesis, is same hypothesis to a question mark, right? So that brings us to the G4, this G4 as two hypotheses. So ultimately, in the trace, in the final trace, in the final version space, what we saw is a version space: sunny, warm, question mark, strong, question mark, right? And G4 we have only sunny and warm. So we have this one hypothesis, we have two more hypotheses here, and then we have three more hypotheses here. So total we have six hypotheses what we saw in the final version space. So this is exactly what we saw in our previous lectures. Let me go back and show you. This was the training example what we saw, right? These were the six uh, let's say the six hypotheses that we had at the end of the candidate elimination algorithm, right? As you can see here, this is one hypothesis, two, three, four, five, six, right? So this will be our virgin space. Now, as you can see from most specific hypothesis and also the most general hypothesis, we have come somewhere in between to get this virgin space, right? So this is the output of our candidate elimination algorithm. And this is our final virgin space for this particular enjoy sport concept learning problem. So I hope the things are clear. If anybody having any kind of doubt, anything that you want to ask, the session is open for questions and queries. Yeah, anybody who has any kind of doubt, you can either unmute your mic and ask your doubt, or if you can put it in your chat box. Is there any doubt or no doubt? Yeah, anybody who is facing any problem or didn't understood anything, any specific thing, you can rediscuss that thing again. If you guys don't speak up, then I'll not come to know whether you have understood or no. Yeah, anybody, you can put it in the chat box. Arif says no doubt. Okay. Others, anybody having any kind of doubt? Okay, no doubt. Okay, so if there is no doubt, before concluding the lecture, we will have a quick recap of what we discussed in the today's class. So whatever we discussed, a quick recap about the candidate elimination algorithm. So candidate elimination algorithm, as it defined, that it represents the set of all hypotheses. The candidate elimination algorithm represents set of all hypotheses, unlike the find days algorithm, right? Find days algorithm gives us only one hypothesis, or it guarantees only one hypothesis at the output. But the candidate elimination algorithm gives us the set of all hypotheses which are consistent with the observed training example, right? The observed training examples are nothing but what we saw in our table. We had 4 examples, right? So those are our total number of observed training examples denoted as capital D. So to start with the candidate elimination algorithm, we first initialize the most general hypothesis by assigning all the attribute values as question mark. Question mark denotes any value is accepted, and we also initialize the most specific hypothesis by the symbol phi, which denotes no value is accepted. So what these two initialization does is they set a boundary for us. Now these boundary is they behave like form of a delimiters. They are our delimiters. So whatever virgin space, the set of hypotheses that we are going to get will fall under these boundaries. They will be in between these boundaries. Either it will be more general or a more specific, right? Because these are our boundary hypothesis. G naught is our most general, S naught is our most specific. So our virgin space has to be in between these two boundaries. Now, once we initialize, right, what we do is we when we encounter a positive training example, we go ahead and loosen, or you can say relax, or you can say uh, find a less general hypothesis or a less specific hypothesis and a more general hypothesis by removing few general hypotheses which are inconsistent, and also adding few specific hypotheses which are minimal general, right? And at the end we remove the hypothesis which is more general, or we remove the hypothesis from S which are more general. And at the same time, when we encounter a negative training example, we do exactly reverse of it. So when we encounter a positive training example, we trace down to generosity, and when we encounter a negative training example, we trace up to more specific, right? So we discussed with the training example that we saw with respect to enjoy sport concept, target concept. We had these four training examples wherein we have three positive training example and one negative example. So when we see two positive training example, so we execute this candidate elimination algorithm by first assigning the most specific and the most general hypothesis. These are our delimiters. Then, when we encounter our first training example, which is a positive, we move towards more generosity by assigning this most specific hypothesis with the updated training example, the first training example. So you can see here our first training example, sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, same, has been assigned to S1, that is sunny, warm, normal, strong, warm, same, which is our updated specific hypothesis. Then the second training example is also a positive training example, but the only difference here is the third attribute value, which is changed to high instead of normal. Others remain same. So other than sunny, warm, strong, warm, and same, we change this normal to a question mark, normal to a question mark. The reason because even for the high value, the outcome is positive. The training example is positive. So that means any value is accepted. Either it will be normal or high. Any value for the third attribute is accepted. But our general hypothesis remains same. Now, when we encounter the third training example, which is a negative training example, we update our G2 to G3 by creating three new more general hypothesis, three new general hypotheses with respect to the third training example, negative. Why? Because we have few attribute values here, which are, you can say, rainy, cold, high, and warm, strong, warm, and change, in which few of the training examples were different compared to S3, S2, right? So sunny was created with a new training example, warm with a new training example, but since there is a question mark here, we don't create a new hypothesis. The fourth attribute value is strong, which is same as this negative training example. Again, warm, which is again same as this negative training example. So there is no change. But in the sixth attribute value, we see there is this difference. We have same value as S2 in S2, but for the third training example, we have the value of the attribute as change. So there is a difference. So in order to address this difference, we create a new hypothesis, same with the attribute value, all question mark and same. Right. So this leads us to three new hypotheses, which are more specific than G0, G1, and G2, but they are more general to S3 and S2. Now, the loop is not yet end here, right? We have fourth training example, which is a positive example. So in our third trace, the positive training example fourth, we see that there is no change in sunny, warm, high, and strong, but there is a difference for cool and change, right? That is the fifth attribute value and the sixth attribute value. There is a difference. The difference is here we have cool, but here we have warm, right? And here we have change, and here we have same. So there is a difference, right? So, but our attribute value, the target concept, is a positive training example. So we have to consider these attribute values, cool and change also. So if we want to consider it, we have to replace these warm and same sign, same values with the question mark symbol. The question mark denotes that both the values will be accepted here or any values accepted. So that gives us a new hypothesis S4, right? But since there is a conflict, there is a change that same is also there, and we have a hypothesis which is same here. So there is a conflict which is in specific hypothesis and in general hypothesis. So we have to remove this hypothesis because we have more general hypothesis S4, updated hypothesis in H4, S4, right? So we will remove this hypothesis, and ultimately we have only uh, two hypotheses in G4. So S4 we have one hypothesis, in G4 we have two hypotheses. Now when we compare these two hypotheses, we have these three new hypotheses coming up, right? So you can see that sunny is clear, but warm, here there is a question mark. So we create a question mark here, and so on. Like strong, we have strong here, and so on. So we have three new set of hypotheses generated. So total of six hypotheses. This is one, two, three, four, five, and this is six. So we have total of six hypothesis from all the set of hypotheses as the output for the candidate elimination algorithm, which is our virgin space. Right? So this will be our final virgin space. So I hope the things are clear. This was all about today's lecture. So if you have any other doubt, you can reach out in our WhatsApp group, or you can ping me personally or in our Google Classroom, so that these doubts, if anybody else having the same doubt, will be getting clarification. Right, so that's all for today's lecture. If you still have any doubt, you can ask or you can leave the meeting.